Hi Aquarius, welcome back to Key Wisdom Tarot. My name is Ruth and I'm your Reiki Master and Tarot Reader, and this Aquarius is your brand new week in brief, okay? We're going to draw 3 cards initially. The first card is going to look at work and money for this week. The second card, love and relationships. And your third card is your overall energy or focus for this week, okay? It runs up until the 5th of November and you can check out your other readings for more details and in-depth info. So let's have just a brief look at this week. I've already shuffled, I've already meditated, etc. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'll just do a bit more. Your reading is like a bullet, almost, like so clear. But I need to now put these cards in the order that they're meant to go in. That's your first cards. Pretty sure that's for that actually, but I'll put it there. Okay, so you've got your first cards, which is work and money, finances, you know, work basically. Why that was hard for me to say, I don't know. I think I need a break. Wow, look at this. Interesting. We've got the Page of Swords and we've got the Queen of Swords. I feel like this is, anyway, this is your energy, okay? So this is you. Now, there's action and there's understanding this week for you, which is really, really good when it comes to work, okay? Remember, the masculine aspects of the cards are all about taking action, moving in a direction, and the feminine aspects of the cards are about the wisdom and the understanding that we gain in life, that we know, the things that we inherently know already. So there's a real balance between those two elements of you this week when it comes to work. Excellent. Now, the sword energy, I'll just explain about our thoughts, our minds, our consciousness, our clarity, our communication, our truth. That is what these things are related to. Now, the Page of Swords, I actually... You know, when I first started watching tarot and doing tarot, everyone calls this the stalker card, and it's true. But the reason when we look at the reasons why he's called the stalker card, I just love it. Focused, attention to detail, you know, detail oriented, a good negotiator, good at speaking to people, good at bringing people around to their way of thinking, you know, good at making agreements with people. So that actually, the Page of Swords is a very measured, calculated, not in any negative sense of the word, approach. And I like this approach because it's you being diligent. So it really reminds me always, this card always reminds me of Virgo, because that's Virgo's, you know, Virgo is related to the Hermit, and that's Virgo's element. That's what we say about the Virgo. But this is not just within, with the Page of Swords. It's about outside. It's about looking around you, finding out that information. So some of you could be looking for work. Some of you could be looking to make changes, improvements in the way that you work, in the way that you do things, in your career. This card is distracting me, so I'm going to have to turn it over because it's distracting me. It wants to be right. Okay, it wanted to be turned over. You know, and it comes, and again, it's another sword. I'll talk about it in a second. I'm going to turn it back over. It is for this, but I'll talk about it in a second. Now, in fact, sorry, I wanted to talk about it now, so I will. This is because in the past, potentially, you felt disempowered. Something's made you feel disempowered when it comes to your abilities at work, and it's about you being discerning this week and understanding that is all in your head, that you are able. You know, it's so interesting because it's like, I said this to you, I think, in the last reading, you are coming into an awareness of your own strength, your own capabilities, Aquarius, recently. You've been coming into that awareness. And I just, honestly, it makes me so happy, like, for you, because I feel the wheels turning, the grinding, the change, the grinding changes, and the effort that's being taken, but recognition from yourself that it's necessary. And I think in a work situation, you know, you've been felt like this, you know, and I you know, if you're a teacher, you know what this feels like, because, you know, I was a teacher for 10 years, And even though, you know, even though when I got observed by Ofsted, I'd literally get good and outstanding, you know, lesson observations, my kids would make great progress, it wouldn't matter. You always feel as a teacher that you're rubbish. You always feel like you are failing as a teacher. I mean, listen, I'm speaking, that's how it is in our experience as teachers in this country, blah, blah, blah. You always feel rubbish at your job, no matter how much. Doesn't matter if your kids do well. If your results go up by 17%, like I did one year, best in the school. In our department, English, woo, we got a bottle of champagne. But anyway, doesn't matter how good everyone else tells you are. It doesn't matter. You feel like, pardon my French, a piece of shit. And I think that something's happened to you that makes you feel that way at work. This has already happened. 3 of Swords have already happened. They've already happened. So don't think, oh, it's coming. You know, the universe is saying to you, you need to change your way of thinking about yourself. And that is what you actually literally do this week. You start to think differently. You start to recognise and understand what is within. You recognise and understand that that's there. And that's because you do the work. You have the conversations with your colleagues, or, you know, you have the conversations with your boss. You have the appraisal, for example, when they review your wages, etc. That's happening this week. And you are really starting to realise it's not that I'm rubbish at my job. It's just that I might forget this, or I might not be consistent in my delivery, or I might be late or whatever it is for you as an individual. And you're actually starting to realise, actually, this is a tiniest adjustment. The smallest adjustment that will make my work, my life much more happier, my work life much happier. Yeah? So I feel like that's what it is for you. I feel like it's this week you're starting to recognise the things that you need to do differently. And it's not a huge list of things. It's all in your head that it's this huge list. And the reason this huge list exists in your head is because of this feeling of disempowerment. Maybe related to a relationship that's actually affected your work life, you know, actually I'm thinking of a specific person when I say that, but it could be, you know, that your relationship has affected your work. You know, you might have broken up with somebody, for example. You might be going through a divorce. You might be going through a separation, maybe involving children, because pages relate to children. And you might not have realised that actually has affected your work. It's affected your enjoyment at work. It's affected your ability to show up as you wanted to at work. And I think that this week you are starting to see that and realise that. And not only see it and realise it, but you're doing the Page of Swords stuff, which is the work to find out, to understand, I have to make this change, this adjustment. I have to think of differently, blah, 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 or whatever it is for you personally. And that is so nice that you actually do it with the Page of Swords, even if you're scared, even if you're panicking, even if you're worried, you do it this week. You make the changes, or you realise the changes that need to be made, okay, in your perspective. Wow, swords everywhere. This is for love, so the second card. And we've got the 8 of Swords. And again, in relationships also, you're stuck in a cycle of thinking you are less than. Thinking you are less than. I said that 3 times because I don't know where that came from. It just wanted to come out. You're in that cycle, some of you, of thinking that you are less than, thinking that you can't move on from. You know, I really do think like a relationship, a breakup that's already happened is affecting your self-esteem, both at work and just in life in general, in your mind in general. You know, you're feeling or thinking, you're tied up in sort of negative thought patterns about yourself, feeling sad, some of you feeling, not sad, trapped in this way of thinking. You can't get out of the situation that you're now in. You can't think any differently. You need to watch the mantra video I uploaded last week. Listen, if you ever see this card, watch the mantra video. I've uploaded it last week. I might tag it onto this video at the end. watch that video, because it helps you to, again, change your thinking, change your actions, literally, with the use of mantras, literally with recognizing the things that we continue to tell ourselves over and over again. That's this energy. This is you continuing to tell yourself over and over again something that is not true, and something that is having a negative impact on your self-esteem, on your compassion, on your love for yourself. And I point to these ropes here because that is where your self-esteem, solar plexus, sacral chakra, your self-worth and value, solar plexus, self-expression and love, heart chakra, that is where they're located. And they're tied up in this game of in this thoughts, these ruminating thoughts that you're having. They're tied up in that. So this is your overall energy. Look at this overall energy. And really, this is a soulmate card, but ultimately, there's two things. I'm going to rush now, but there's two things that you need to know with this card. Ultimately, you've got to love yourself. You've got to commit with the number 2, commitment. You've got to commit to loving yourself, to accepting yourself. Okay? The second interpretation, I'm just going to say this quickly because I want it to 10-minute reading. The second interpretation of this is that all this swords, all this disempowerment at work, this you feeling bad about yourself, all this has been created and caused by a soulmate situation. Now, I'm not going to go into it because I've not got the time in this reading, but when we talk about soulmates are literally there to awaken our souls. And so some of our soulmates, yeah, it might be all in love. It might be like, oh my God, like I'm so in love with you and I've never felt that depth before. But a soulmate is also there to shake pardon my French, the shit out of you as well. So if you've been, for the last 30 years of your life, you've been telling yourself you're a piece of shit, and then you meet a soulmate and they tell you that yourself, and they say to you, you're horrible, You're a horrible person. You're a disgrace. If this person treats you with that disdain, this is going to sound weird, but good. Because you will then tell yourself, I'm not a piece of shit. I'm not a piece of rubbish. No, I'm a good person. And then you get rid of that soulmate, and that soulmate goes off, and you're left with all these emotions and all this, horribleness. But at least now you believe that you're a good person. At least now you know your worth. So a soulmate, when we talk about soulmates, yes, it's a soulmate card. And when we talk about soulmates, people always think soulmates have, I'm going to marry a soulmate. I used to think that. I used to think that a soulmate meant I'm going to marry this person. No, it doesn't. A soulmate is going to wake you up. A soulmate is going to make you believe in yourself. A soulmate is going to make you see your strength and your weaknesses. And a soulmate's going to force you up out of the depths that you've been living in, existing in. And it's going to make you step up and say, do you know what? I'm worth more than this. Do you know what? I can do more than this. Do you know what? I want more than this. So for some of you, even if it's been the worst blooming few years of your life with this person, they've been awful to you. They've been horrible to you. They're a soulmate. And they were there to wake you up so that you can see who you are, and so you can go after the things that you want to go after, and you can heal from the things that you need to heal from, that make you feel less than, that make you feel disempowered. So for you, I want you to know that this might be quite misleading, actually. I'm just doing your thumbnail. I want you to know, Aquarius, that this week is about you recognizing that this person that made you, that's put you in this situation, or that's helped to get you in this situation, praise the universe that they exist in your life, even if, and pardon my French, they're a shithead. Praise the universe that you met them, because otherwise you'd still be wandering through your life in a coma like the rest of the world, going, yeah, I'm going to just go 9-5, do my job, blah, blah, blah. It don't matter that I hate my mum or I hate my dad or I'm just going to blah, blah. You get up. They wake you up. So it's positive. Yeah? It's positive. So, or for some of you, it could be that you actually meet this person. I've gone well over in your reading. That you actually meet this person. You meet a soulmate. And it's that shakes you this week. That you start to see and realise, I need to stop treating myself this way. I need to stop being... Because this is you treating yourself this way, thinking in this way. And you need to stop this. So this is a realisation that's brought about by a soulmate connection. And it's really, really positive, okay? This is a positive... Even though you don't think it's positive, I'm buzzing for you. I'm like, yes, Aquarius. Yes. This is what you need, babe. This is what we all need. It helps us to see, to understand, to learn, to recognise, to come into that awareness. And coming into the awareness is what helps us to grow, is what helps us to heal, is what helps us to expand, okay? So I'm loving this reading for you. Let me know what you think, Aquarius. And it came out like that. You know, I ain't acting. It comes out how it comes out because that's how it's meant to come out, okay? So don't be offended by it. Just know that this is for you to shake you up and to get you out of yourself, and for you to realise that you are worth it and you can do it, okay? I promise you can, Aquarius, okay? Mwah. Much love to you, my darlings. There's other readings, etc. around on my channel, so check them out. Pick a card readings, etc. I'm going to do your love reading next week. I'll post those next week, Aquarius. And Instagram is Key Wisdom Tarot, Facebook Key Wisdom Tarot. Please like, please share, please comment, etc. Let me know how you've been and how this week goes. And I will see you all next week, my fabulous Aquariuses. Take care, my darlings. Bye.